Morning. Nice to see everybody. I'm a little more excited this morning. It's Mother's Day. I have the most awesome mother in the world. We all have the most awesome heavenly mother in the world. And I finally got back to the health club. So I'm going to apologize in advance for any tangents that I'm sure are coming, any exuberance of energy that is already here, and any way that my train of thought goes off the tracks and you do not follow me. So let's start from the beginning. Our Bentley dealer is here from Barrington, our retired commander of the police department in Crystal Lake. The salmon lady is here. People who bring salmon to the house, she's called the salmon lady. The people who went to Haiti with me are here. Most importantly, mothers. The choir's here. The mothers. Happy Mother's Day. I believe this in the core of my DNA and marrow. As motherhood goes, so goes the world. It's real simple. Father, it can't be that simple. It's that simple. How you treat your mother, how we respect our women, how we look at childbirth, how we look at pregnancy, how we deal with the business that leads to pregnancy, all that is the basic manner and a framework by how which this world goes. When that goes south, that's for young people. That means going bad. When it goes bad, and it goes real bad. And you don't have to go far to figure this one out. Just turn on the news later on tonight. So mothers, welcome. Equally important today. Ready for this move? This is spontaneous. I'm just making this stuff up as I go along. Is those who the mothers got to come to church today who normally don't go. Seriously. You're very important to me. And this plea is for you. If you came to Mass today because your mother or grandmother asked you to come, this plea is for you. Before I give you the plea, let me give you two quick stories before I make my pitch. Because this is my last shot. And it's really not funny at all. I'm going to see you at Starbucks. I'll see you at Benedict's. I'll see you at the new 1776, or the new restaurant across the street. I went there for their opening. Real nice joint, the Supper Club. I'll see you around, but probably won't see you in church, so I got to make my pitch to you. So you might consider more sincerely making this a commitment. On the way out of Mass, last Mass, there was a grandmother, whose daughter came to me and said, "Thank you for making my child's first communion so special." I could tell, I did not know the woman, I did not know her child. I'm only assuming, I could be totally wrong, I don't think I am. They don't go to Mass very often. They came for their first communion. They had a good experience. Grandma asked them to come back. They came back today. She said, "Thank you very much." The daughter, the daughter, there's a grandma, daughter, and a granddaughter. "Thank you very much, fine." The grandma walked up to me with a tear in her eye. And she said, my children and my grandchildren are in church today. I didn't make that up. I can't talk the way I'd like to talk from Grand and Western right now. It's a big deal to go to Mass for your mother. If you haven't figured it out yet, why the way to Jesus Christ is a community of faith and believing in the things the church tells us to believe in for a better life, a fuller life, a more meaningful life, a more purposeful life, a more confident life, a more peaceful life, a more forgiving life, a better marriage, better worker, better student. If you haven't figured it out yet, do it for your mother. That's good enough reason. Next story, 51-year-old lady, Hispanic, who spoke enough English. She's in hospice care. And this was during this week. And it took her about 20 minutes to tell me what I already knew from my dad was a detective, I'm a pretty observant guy. It took her 20 minutes to tell me. The doctor said, "I'm going to die." And I say this very sincerely. It's part of my job. I take my job very seriously. You wouldn't know this if you're visiting. I take my job extraordinarily seriously. So I find it to be my job to repeat to her, I was detecting not a lot of faith. Faith, but not like some faith. Faith is all over the spectrum, as you know. As many people are at Mass this morning, we're going to differ in some degrees in faith. So I said to her, the doctor said, "You're going to die. You're going to die. Barring a miracle. Miracles happen. I believe in miracles. But you're going to die. Now, what are you afraid of?" And then the conversation began. And you know what she was afraid of, kids? She was afraid for her children. She was afraid for her grandchild. She wanted to be around. It's good to look out for mom and to take care of mom. I have one example in my life of a woman I gave permission to not contact her mother for ridiculous reasons as you could possibly imagine. Other than that, if your mom's doing time in Joliet, you should still send her a card. Be nice to your mothers. And you know, sorry, young parents, again, I have no way, do not hold this against me. I'm 51 years old. I'm from a different generation. I really am. I never spoke to my mom the way some of these kids speak to their mothers. And I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and I got to be careful because someone's going to take this the wrong way. They always do. The guy was a jerk. I can't believe he said that. Well, I know the kids. We have a relationship. So I say to the children, if you would talk to my wife, not that I would find a woman desperate enough to ever be one, to be my wife. And heaven knows I've been warned already by multiple psychiatrists to never have children. But if I'm just telling you, my dad is a retired police officer. If I was married, 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds and under, if you talk to my wife the way some of you talk to your mothers, my world and yours would stop. Food would stop, the air conditioning would stop, everything would just stop. I would just stop. It'd be like a slow motion movie. And I don't know what I would do. But I want to let you talk to her like that. Because the way I figure it is this. If you could talk to the woman who bore you, who nursed you, she gave up her body, she made a commitment out of love and sacrifice. Look, moms, you got this in common with me, and you even more so. No one's going to pay you back in this life for your sacrifices. No one's going to pay him back, and no one's going to pay you back. In heaven, I'll be thanking my mother. Small tangent, so my mom's got some health issues. Pray for her, she's fine, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to tell you my mom's health problems up here. She'll be 83. But I find it an honor. I'm honored to go home on Sundays and spend a day and a half with her on my day off. I'm honored. You got like basic cable? I don't even get C-SPAN, it's that bad. She don't want it. Bogus TV. Nothing in the fridge. But I can always get food, I got a car. My point is, it's an honor. And you know why it's an honor? Because people like you who've suffered and lost loved ones, who took care of your parents, who took care of your sick children, you taught me how to do it. And it's a blessing to have her in my life. So again, I'm sorry. I'm always on the side of the mom. I'm always on the side of the mom. Maybe men need to step up a little bit here too. And not just have, you know what? Every day should be Mother's Day. Every day should be Mother's Day. How is my wife doing? Oh, thank you. You know, as you're clapping, I'm feeling a little feminine up here. I'm feeling a little motherly. Hey, you know what? Mothers and I have a lot in common, by the way. Because you tell your kids, I tell people, no one listens to me. It's like, you know, when Monsignor gets home, I'm like, Monsignor, nobody's listening to me. Anyway, it's not even a fair characterization. Okay, so let's move on. So we got, so here's the pitch. If you're visiting, hey, I haven't got a note, I haven't lost my point yet. That swimming works. It works, gets you all excited. Here's the pitch. Philip says to Jesus, which you heard today. And I remember from the first communion, because a lot of those people never went to church in like years, we could tell, because when it came time to kneel, they, besides not kneeling, when they went to put the kneelers down, they almost broke them. Like, someone's got to, poor Dan, someone's got to fix these things. But I noticed this about those people. And don't be like these people. Don't be like these people. You got 6 or 8 more minutes of me left up on this pulpit. Listen. Don't close your ears. You know what the devil's saying right now in your mind, consciously or not? Do not listen to the priest. Whatever you do, don't listen to the priest. We're doing fine. Life's great. Is it going that great? Is life going that great? Is your mom proud of you? Does your mom think you're a success? Does she have to drag you to church? It took Mother's Day to show up. So here's the pitch. If you're thinking, if you're listening, Philip said, Jesus, show us the Father. You got a great game of talking. I've seen the miracles, but show me the connection. Who are you? And Jesus says this. He's saying it to you. He's saying it to me. I've been in your life all these years, and you still don't know me. I am one with the Father. We're Christians. Your mom decided to take you to this church today, and most of us are here because of our mothers, even me when I was a kid, and the nuns. The reason we're in a Catholic Christian church today, the reason where I can support, in some ways, Willow Creek, I can, in some ways, it's better than nothing. They're getting something. They believe Jesus is Lord. They believe the Holy Spirit is equal to the Father and the Son. Two reasons. One, Jesus is equal to the Father. That is earth-shattering and breaking news. It's not a Fox News alert. It's the good news of the gospel. Jesus Christ is Lord. He is God. He didn't say, I am a way. He says, I am the way. There's not another way. Look, if you were honest with yourselves, and I say this, parents, those who go to Mass, that's a very loaded proposition when I say to people, if you're being honest with yourself, because I'm a pretty, I don't know if I was going to say shrewd. I would say judgmental. Yeah, there's some, I know I got some arrogance, some narcissism, but when I say, if you're really being honest with yourself, what I usually mean is they're not being honest with themselves. I'm just being honest with you. When I say to someone, if you're really being honest with yourself, I'm presuming you're not being honest with yourself. Because if you were, how is life going? You don't think life can get better? You don't think there's a fuller life for you? You think this is it? You think we ceilinged out? Life gets better. Accepting Jesus is the way. He is the truth. He is the highest form of living our human potential on this earth. Otherwise, and there's no exceptions, there's no greater way to live the fullness of life. Jesus came first and foremost to give us life. And that's true. And if you're Catholic and you're going to Mass and you're still a little pro-choice, call me. You got the guts? Call Father Koutnik. We'll sit down. I'll buy the coffee. It's not true. People give me gift certificates from Starbucks. They'll pay. And I want to hear your explanation. I really do. Because first and foremost, it's life. And we're all glad to be here. If you're not glad to be here, you may have some other issues. I'll take that phone call as well. Maybe you haven't figured it out yet. This is a gift. I just came back from Haiti. You know what I learned? Seriously, to teenagers especially. And parents, if you give this to your teenagers, it's worth more than $1 million. Life is hard. Very hard. Very hard. It's very hard. These stories I hear about colleges and what's going on campus, life is hard. Things do not generally go your way. You got to fight it out. You got to be a scrapper. You got to have goals. Set your goals. Be strict about the discipline and go get it. Don't think someone's going to hand it to you. So first we have life. So here's back to Mother's Day. The only reason why Jesus could say to Philip, when you see me, you see the Father. I'm not just a messenger. I'm the message. I'm the guy. You ain't got to look for Buddha or Gandhi or Muhammad. I'm the guy. The Father and I are one. The only reason he could say that, Jesus, is because Mary said yes. The Mother of God said yes. And there's got to be someone in church here, and if you're visiting, this is what happens always with me, because this might be shocking, you're visiting from out of town. If Mary was pro-choice like you, there'd be no Savior. She took the flag and claimed women's rights. You don't know me, I'm a woman, it's my body, I'll do what I want. No salvation. He came that they would have life, and we honor our life. And we should take care of our life. I got to drop 20, pray for me to drop 20. But I figure it's your fault because you're bringing food to my house. First of all, life. And Mary, I got to move on because this is going to go on forever. 100 years ago, yesterday, the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared in Fatima. And all you young people who have Google machines, Google it. There were 80,000 witnesses. There were 80,000 eyewitnesses. It was on the front page of the paper. It rained for a couple days. They were in a muddy field. Mary told them the day and the hour. They showed up and the sun. Google this. If you don't go to church, maybe you need a miracle. I got one for you. I got a bona fide, verifiable miracle. The sun fell from the sky and it dried up the entire muddy prairie. And those who were wet, their clothes were dry, yet they were not burned. And Mary said a few things. Mary said, pray for the conversion of Russia. This is 1917, if you know your history. The Bolsheviks started their revolution before World War I. They were nowhere in charge while the war was going on. The Bolsheviks, the communist revolution, took over after World War I. And then they became full-blown commies. Mary's prophecy clearly was ahead of what happened. People say, pray for Russia, pray for conversion of Russia. What's wrong with Russia? Communism spread atheism throughout the entire body of Russia. There was a cancer in Russia. Mary was ahead of it. She said, pray for the conversion of sinners. She said, pray the rosary. Pray the rosary for all my good Catholics who go to Mass. Please. And I got to get out of here because I can keep going. The swimming actually works. I got more energy. And I got next Mass. I got to save a little bit in the tank. So here's the last story I'll tell you. And obviously there's a lot more. The last trip I took to Rome, because I put on all this poundage here, okay? I got a trunk in the front. I went to get my cassock taken out. My cassock, it's a very expensive cassock. Someone bought it for me, it's like $600 20 years ago. So I don't know what it's worth today. It's very nice material. So when you walk around Rome, you wear the full cassock. If you don't know what a cassock is, the guy from Matrix wore a cassock. He did. They got it from us. Anyway, they're taking out my cassock, and there's an Irish priest, great guy, and he starts talking to me, and I can tell if you're a priest, it's like a union, if you're legit or not, if you know what you're talking about. This guy was totally legit. He knew the bishop who ordained me, blah, blah, blah. So he confronts me. I don't even know this guy. He says, Father, are you praying the rosary every day? I said, I got to be honest. I got a brogue too, because I was just in Ireland a little while ago. I says, no, I got to be honest. I don't pray. He says, Father, you got to pray the rosary every day. You got a mother on earth. You love your mother on earth, don't you? You got to love your mother in heaven. You got to talk to her. So he gave me this homily. He says, you don't understand. When you pray the rosary, you think about the mysteries of Jesus Christ through the eyes of the one who knew and loved him most. His mother. So pray it. Meditate what happened to Jesus. See how he did it through the eyes of Mary. Learn and believe that she's our mother. And in our darkest hours, as she stood with him, she stands with us. So God bless you, women and mothers, and all the women who can't get pregnant. How about those women? How about those women? That's another story. And for all those mothers, when I say mothers, I mean adoptive mothers. I always mean adoptive mothers. Someone corrected me before. If I have to say it, of course, my brother Jeff married a woman who was adopted. Mothers who adopt children are as mothers get. They might even get mothers with a bonus star. So adoption is totally a way to go. So in the end, we know how this turns out. The Blessed Virgin warned of further chastisements. And guess what they said who knows what the further chastisement was? World War II. The bloodiest of all battles took place. Mary warned us in 1917, if you don't get your act straight, worse things are going to come your way. I'm here to tell you, if you do get your act straight, many more blessings are going to come your way. Long live the moms, living and dead, and may God grant those dead eternal rest.